I want to thank Camille and Arthur Taylor for nominating me for this award. There are so many people, I'm going to say by name because that's important to me. And then there are other people I'm not going to say by name, but they're sitting all around this room that's been part of this process with me. And so, again, started with Camille and Arthur Taylor, but then going to my home base, ROE 17. 7 years ago, 8 years ago, when I was closing into the kind of the twilight of my career, I went to Diane Wolf at the time in North Johnson and said, hey, I want to go back to school. And they looked at me and, well, obviously they agreed and they've supported me through this process this whole way. And so my work continues to be my work family, sitting up at the table over there with ROE 17. I also want to acknowledge Jill Reedy. Jill Reedy is from ROE 39. She was the first person outside of our community that invited me into their community. So I've been working closely with Jill since that time took place. Back at this table in the middle, a lot of my family. My cousins, Renee, Taylor, Mickey, Cole drove in this morning at 10 o'clock from St. Louis to be here today. And obviously my son, my daughter, and the joy of my heart, Wesley, and my wife, Kim. I want to thank them for supporting me along this journey that I started 10 years ago. The work I do takes a lot of time. It takes me all over the country and different parts of the world, so I'm gone a lot. And I want to thank my family for creating space for me when I get home. We have a standard scenario that when I'm in town, we're going to get together, and I just appreciate that. And then my wife supported me through this whole process from since I started talking about this 10 years ago. And then the other two people at the table, Suzanne Montoya, works with Juvenile Court Services. When I first started talking about this work with Suzanne, she gave me support getting this into the juvenile justice system, and we did a lot of great work together. What you don't know about Judge Freeze back there is Judge Freeze actually was a pioneer of restorative justice work in our community, started in the early 90s. And so, and then Lisa Thompson, somebody I've known for 30 plus years, I actually hired Lisa Thompson out of school. And when she came out of school at the Children's Foundation, and fast forward 25, 30 years later, I have the privilege of serving on the board at Project Eyes, so, and where Lisa serves as the executive director. So just wanted to make sure I got the thanks out of the way, and if I haven't mentioned your name, there's a lot of people sitting around this room that I've come across with this work. And so, when I think of that together piece, I think of all of you. And just real quickly, a lot of the work that I was doing during this time in this community started right after COVID. These circles that we do started taking place after COVID. One of the places I continue to work in a lot of my travels around the country is through the International Institute of Restorative Practices, where I got a lot of my training and a lot of my resources. And so I'm grateful to those opportunities. But what restorative practices is really a social science, and it studies the impact of relationships and community, and how important it is for our human dignity for us to be connected as humans, and when we're not at our best. So a lot of these strategies around restorative practices, whether they're in schools, in families, in neighborhoods, and larger communities, at the soul of it is about building relationships to build community. Because when we have those communities, that's what it looks like when we can move far together and do more sustainable things along the way. So I just want to again say thanks to everyone who's touched my life around this work, and I look forward to embedding this work more in our systems. There's a lot of people, just a real quick show of hands, how many people been involved in restorative work in the community? Exactly. We plant some seeds. It's taking a long view. How do we make a better community? We do it together. So thank you, and thank you all.